Okay, so it's Ian Sanders from iansanders.com. Delighted to be with Mr. Guy Kawasaki this afternoon in London. Guy's over in the UK because his new book Enchantment is out.
Mm-hmm.
So Guy, I'd love to kick off with, you're such a great communicator. I'd love to hear the 140 character pitch for Enchantment of what's it all about. I won't time you on getting the characters right.
Okay, so basically Enchantment is a book that helps you learn how to change people's hearts, minds, and actions. It's built on the work of, I think, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and Robert Cialdini, Influence, two of my heroes. And I'm trying to help people use all the digital technology and all the social media, good stuff, to change the world.
Sure, and it's a great read. It's inspiring stuff. Now, what I'm interested for the audience getting out of this is if they're a small business and they're thinking about, okay, how can I inject a bit of an enchantment into my startup idea? What does that feel like for an entrepreneur who's shaped their awesome product, or what they think is an awesome product? How do they start putting a bit of enchantment into that?
Well, first of all, you could aspire to certain goals, and I'll give analogs for the goals. You should aspire for the product quality of Apple, the likability of Richard Branson, and the trustworthiness of Zappos. Although I don't know if your audience will know what Zappos is. So Zappos is an online, it's part of Amazon now, but you can buy shoes there. And so what it has done is convince women to buy shoes without trying them on, which is, to me, remarkable. And one of the ways it's done that is because it has such a trustworthy reputation. And one of the ways it got that is because it allows women to send back shoes after they try them on, and they'll pay shipping both ways. Zappos will pay shipping both ways. So if you had the friendliness of Richard Branson and the trustworthiness of Zappos and the product of Apple, you would be extremely enchanting. Now, small businessmen might say, yeah, but you just used 3 huge examples. But the point here is that you need to be likable, particularly as a small business, because you may be the business. You need to be trustworthy. Again, same reason. You may be the business, and you need a great product. And let's take an extreme. Let's say you're a plumber. Well, can a plumber be enchanting? The absolute answer is yes. Sure. You could show up on time. You could, pull your pants up. You could actually have an estimate. You could actually come in at or below the estimate. You could have a time where you're stating how long it'll take, and you finish on time. That I would describe as making a likable, trustworthy, and high-quality plumber. And frankly, you'd be very enchanting as even a plumber.
Absolutely. So you're really saying that people can leverage the power of enchantment as their point of difference to stay ahead of the game?
Absolutely. Now, obviously, enchantment includes products. So you could say you could have just a better product but not be likable and trustworthy. Obviously you could do that, but why? If you're going to do it, you should put the complete package together and go for it. Why hold yourself back? Ask yourself, using food as an example, if you knew there was a restaurant that had just great food, but the people were really arrogant, and even when you call and you say, I have a reservation at 8 o'clock, and you get there and they say, well, we're running behind, you'll really be seated at 9:30. So now, you don't like them, they're not trustworthy, but they have great food. How often would you eat there? You better have some pretty great food. Now imagine if you had great food and you were likable and trustworthy, life would be easier and more rewarding.
Sure.
It's just not rocket science.
Yeah. And what I loved about the book and the advice and all the tips was that this is something you've got to live and breathe. This isn't a box ticking exercise, is it?
No.
Can people fake enchantment?
You can fake enchantment as you can fake many things, but I don't think it'll last very long. Basically, an enchanting relationship is long lasting. So, you could deal with a computer company that would convince you, woo you, influence you, close you, promote you, market or sell you into buying a laptop. One-time transaction. By contrast, think of what Apple does. So Apple doesn't just sell you a laptop, it enchants you. So you buy a MacBook Pro, and then next thing you know, you're buying an iPhone. And then the next thing you know, I wish I had my iPad here. Let me show you my iPad. You have an iPad, and then you have an iPod for your kids. and then you're using iTunes and iBooks and Apple TV. And that's because Apple's enchanted you, and now you're standing in line waiting for the Apple Store to get its daily shipment of iPad 2s. See, that's enchantment. It's a lot different than somebody sold you one computer.
Love it. That's great.